Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. Let's keep that music popping, guys. I'm Anthony Totri. This guy right here, Senor IMB. What is it, IMDb?
Yes, IMDb page. You must respect me now. I have an official IMDb page.
This is the zookeeper over here, Erik Ruby. You got DJ Danielle behind the Mac making all the magic happen, guys. Do us a solid. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and wherever you get your podcast, leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you like about this podcast. We got a bunch of folks in the chat. We got Danny, we got Erica, we got Sweet Prince Kenny himself, Tony, and more. Erik, it's day 2.
It's day 2 of
day
the hat.
2 with a big hat.
And I am very uncomfortable right now, so I'm going to have to, for those of you listening on audio, come look at my big hat.
We're sitting all weird today.
Yeah, we're sitting all weird. Listen,
you think you can sit crisscross applesauce?
No,
you can't.
You want me to sit crisscross?
Not just can you?
I can.
Do you have like the ability to?
I do have the ability.
I have a feeling. I just want to let everybody know in the chat right now. Things are probably going to get off the rails.
They already are. I'm wearing a big fucking hat.
Oh, dude, this is a vibe. This is a vibe. Crisscross applesauce, low key a vibe.
Okay, wait. Now I gotta.
Let's see what you got. While he does that, I'm going to tell everybody what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to obviously get into Arizona State's newest class of 2025 offensive linemen. We're going to be talking about the athletic director news. So if Dallas is in the chat, I know Dallas has been here the last couple of days looking for that damn AD news. It's okay. We're going to drop it today. We're going to actually get into it. We're going to be talking a little bit about Elijhah Badger. We are going to be drafting the best players on the Arizona State football team actively. It's packed. Go grab yourself a snack, maybe a drink. Who knows? Maybe halfway through the show, I might grab myself a brew. That's where I'm at today.
I mean, I'm going to have to switch out chairs right now because do you hear this chair?
What's wrong with it?
It's just loud.
It's loud?
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Your shorts are really just...
I know.
They're riding up you.
You made me sit crisscross applesauce. That's all your fault.
I didn't make you. I didn't force you to sit crisscross applesauce. Let's go ahead and get that straight. Why don't we? Also, I already said it once. I'll say it again. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. And Erik, let's get into the one thing that we didn't really want to talk about today.
Do we have to?
Do you want to start with it or do you want to finish with it?
I'll finish.
We'll finish with it. Okay, then let's get into some good news.
Yeah.
Maki Stewart.
Woo!
Maki Stewart, class of 2025 offensive lineman committing to the Arizona State Sun Devils. Kenny Dillingham and company now rocking the number 14 recruiting class in the class of 2025 in the country. Dude. And still number 1 in the Big 12. For those of you that don't know, this is what we got on Maki Stewart. Again, class of 2025 offensive lineman for the Sun Devils. He's the number 73 California player in the class of 2025. 6'6", 290 pounds. That is a big slice of California beef right there. From Long Beach, California, and he is currently the 4th offensive lineman in Arizona State's class of 2025. Erik, what do you think of the Sun Devils' new offensive lineman, Maki Stewart?
Simply put, beef.
He's a big dude.
I mean,
6'6", 290, and you still got another year at the high school ranks?
Yeah, that's something you could work with. That's something you could work with. I have always, forever, as long as I've been talking about football, said if I have to build a team and I need to pick positions to invest in first, it's usually everybody on the offensive line. Mm-hmm. And then everything else falls into place. Because if your quarterback's getting sacked, if your running back has no room to break a tackle or to do anything, you're not going anywhere. Your receiver's not getting the ball. Like none of that's happening if you don't have a good offensive line. So we take some beef and we get with it. Yeah. And this is, especially for somebody like Kenny and the way that he runs an offense, lots of different types of trick plays, lots of running the ball. You're going to need very solid protection. And so 6'6", 290, potential to get even bigger. California is a fantastic school when it comes to recruiting high school football. One of the best players in that state, a massive state, the size of multiple other states. And if you took two teams and say, hey, we're going to get the best players in California, just randomly pick them, he'd be on one of those teams.
Yeah. And look, I think if you're looking at just the offensive line as a whole that Kenny is trying to build with this class of 2025, it's impressive. Just not necessarily based on stars and all that stuff, right? Like Maki's a 3-star kid, chose Arizona State over Florida State, Utah, USC, some pretty big schools out there.
Yeah.
But you look at just the size of the offensive linemen that Arizona State is going for in this class. We got Maki at 6'6", 290, right? You go further down the list, you've got Mati Jefferson, an interior offensive lineman, 6'4", so a couple inches shorter, but he's 350 pounds, right? And then Alema Iosua, the offensive tackle from Bishop Gorman, 6'7", 292.
Hey, you nailed that last name.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. We got some big dudes that are going to start playing in the trenches for Arizona State. And again, that's where you win, right? You look at where Kenny Dillingham has been successful in the past, and I think this is part of what we do, right? This is part of the recipe of Kenny's success system that he's had, specifically at the two last locations. Oregon, we know Oregon as a program was solid. They got Bo Nix, kind of changed the game. You look at Florida State, Jordan Travis was there. They kind of changed the game. It took some time to get everybody acclimated to what the trend was going to be. But you want to look specifically as to why Bo Nix and Jordan Travis had such a jump in careers. Part of it, yes, is because Kenny Dillingham was the offensive coordinator, and he is a brilliant offensive mind. The other part of it is they kept their quarterbacks upright. They didn't allow the quarterbacks to get sacked. They didn't feel a whole lot of pressure. You couple that with a system that forces the quarterback to get the ball out of their hand quickly, and you've got a successful system right there, right? Your quarterback can quickly go through his reads. He doesn't have a lot of progressions. And again, he doesn't feel the pressure. He can sit comfy in the pocket. Or if you've got design plays where they need to be outside of the tackle, they've got athletic quarterbacks that can do that too. But the idea of, revitalizing a quarterback's career, i.e. Jeff Sims potentially, right?
Right.
Getting Sam Levitt to
we'll see about that.
Getting Sam Levitt to where he needs to be regardless down the line. Michael Tollefson in 2025, whoever it's going to be, you got to make sure your quarterback is clean in the pocket, and it starts with getting some of these big-ass offensive linemen.
I mean, it's part of the reason why you had so many injuries last year. I mean, obviously your offensive line was injured, but then all your quarterbacks get injured because your entire offensive line is injured.
Yeah.
And if you want to look at Michael Penix specifically up there in Washington, I mean, the reason why he had some incredible success is because that Washington offensive line, incredible, the best in the nation. Like, they got awards for it. So you're sitting here and you're thinking, how can I get these young players, and how do I, maybe these young quarterbacks, right? Sure, you can sell them on the culture. Sure, you can sell them on everything like that.
Sell them on the wideouts.
Or on the wideouts, whatever. But we can also say, hey, look at all the beef. Look at all the beef.
Look at the beef.
You want beef? You got beef. And you can have a whole lot of it protecting you in the trenches in the Big 12, which that's big boy football.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. And you need to have some big boys.
This is grade A Wagyu, okay? That's what
grade A
we're
Wagyu.
getting here in Tempe with Kenny Dillingham, Coach Saga, with Brian Carrington, with these types of coaches. It's not what you got down in Tucson, that McDonald's ass $3 hamburger.
No free ads.
That's it is what it is, right? We're getting some high quality stuff here in Tempe. And again, I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Don't let this team get hot. If you are a Big 12 team or someone else that doesn't want to see the Arizona State Sun Devils or that's sleeping on them a little bit, this is what they're doing. A top 15 recruiting class in the nation, the number one in the Big 12, following a 3-9 season. You get this team to a bowl game, you get this team to surprise, pick up 7 wins. What can the recruiting be like at that point, right? And again,
there's no ceiling. Like there is no ceiling, right?
No.
There is no ceiling, because it's not like Kenny is doing this with maybe like money handcuffs, but I do think that he's taken that NIL stuff in his own hands and has done a really good job of figuring and navigating that space. But it's not like Kenny's recruiting you to the middle of nowhere where it's cold 10 months out of the year. Like, if ASU has a winning program and the players are happy and they don't want to leave. And
the head coach is on Instagram Live just singing out Rod Wave.
Right. You can relate to him. You can play Madden with him. He has a coaching staff of local legends, people who are highly respected across the state. And then you're winning and you're in Tempe with a fan base that gets feverish when this team wins. Like when ASU football is good, people rally. They are foaming at the mouth for more of it.
Yeah.
So ASU historically and currently is able to have high amounts of success. So it is not out there to say that if everything goes right for ASU and Kenny turns the stuff around and starts, getting in bowl games the next year or two and then building and continuing to go up from there.
It'll be dangerous.
With what we've already seen in recruiting, there's no reason to believe that he can't get a top 5, top 3, top 2, top 1 class in the entire country.
And this is, I mean, look, sometimes I think people try and make this a little too complicated. Arizona and Colorado fans specifically, because they love to come to the chat, right? I'm gonna just tell you right now, and it's okay to accept it. This staff is better at recruiting than Arizona staff.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. Brent Brennan cannot and will not out-recruit Kenny Dillingham. Can't, won't do it. Not in his blood. He's not that type of guy, okay?
He doesn't have that dog in him?
No, he doesn't. Deion Coach Prime Sanders. That staff can't out-recruit Kenny Dillingham. They can't. They haven't. They won't. In fact, he might not be there long enough to fucking do it. He might be out after this year. It's only going to get harder to beat Arizona State if they get on this trajectory. And again, I know they had a 3-9 season. I know it wasn't great. But we knew last year that you weren't really playing for last year, right? You were playing for beyond that. You were setting a standard. You were building a culture. And now when you establish a culture, you're able to get players in and you don't even have to do the recruiting, right? You know what separates a program like Notre Dame, right? A program in Notre Dame that, again, class of 2025, they have the number one class. They have 20 commits already in that class of 2025 class. One of, if not the most commits out of any Power 5 school. You know why? Because Notre Dame has a culture unlike any other culture in the nation. It's established. It's prominent. It has to do with beyond the football field. But when they're on the grass, they fucking win, right?
Yeah.
And so when Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame, has players left and right from Arizona, from Florida, from Louisiana coming to visit, he can do his spiel. Those other coaches can have their spiel. And then it's up to the players in the history of that program to really do the sell job of like, hey, this is what we're all about. And that's what you're getting here in baby steps, right? I'm not sitting here telling you that you're going to wake up tomorrow and Arizona State is going to have the history of the Fighting Irish. That's not going to happen. But when you have a 33, 34-year-old coach, the youngest head coach in Division I football that's been all over the map, been at Oregon, been at Auburn, been at Florida State, been at Memphis, been at ASU, and has seen all of these different programs, has recruited for all of these different programs, has been a quarterback and offensive mastermind for some of these programs, and you bring him here, and he's got a blank canvas, and you say, here are the keys, go. Of course he's going to figure it out.
Well, right, and I think something that you mentioned with Notre Dame, now somebody's saying you did not just compare ASU to Notre Dame. Like, that's not what you were getting at.
The only reason I compare Notre Dame, I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying that's the culture, right? And I worked in South Bend. I covered Notre Dame for years. That's why I bring up Notre Dame, is because I was there firsthand with Brian Kelly.
And you can see what a culture can do.
Freeman. Yeah, and it's the once you establish a culture, it outlives the coach.
Correct.
Right? So like when Brian Kelly left and Marcus Freeman was announced as the head coach, there wasn't like, oh, new culture. Like, no, Notre Dame is a culture that is going to outlast the players and the coaches because of the history there.
And that's what Kenny's trying to do. But if you do want to compare a little bit, like Marcus Freeman's 38 years old.
Yes.
Right? And Notre Dame has always been a good school when it comes to football. Obviously, like they are somewhat of a standard when it comes to that. And when you get somebody who's hungry, young, is well adjusted to the current landscape of college football, and armed with that tradition, there's not much that you can do, and that's showing. Now, ASU, not in the same spot. However, ASU does have a very good history in college football. Like, I know that recently, Herm and everything like that last season, it can be pretty easy to get down. But like, let's not forget that historically, this is a good college football program.
Yeah.
This is, right? Is it Notre Dame? No. But it's still a good college football program.
Yeah.
And you have somebody like Kenny who's coming in now, who's like, Freeman walked into a place. It wasn't like it was set up for him. Like, it was just handed to him and it was an easy time. Like, you have to work hard to succeed and everything like that. But if you compare the two hands dealt with Kenny and with Marcus, wildly different. Kenny's establishing that culture. But once he establishes it, he's going to be so like married to it, he's not going to want to leave it.
Yeah.
And once it's there, once the winning is there, then boom. It almost like, sometimes you talk about it like, oh, it's just that easy, right? It's just that easy. You win and the players are going to show up. It's not that easy. But what also isn't easy is having players show up when you lose.
Yeah.
And it's easy to assume that if you have a player show up or a large group of players transfer, sign, commit to your school, when, to be honest, you are at the bottom of the barrel right now.
Yeah.
Bottom of the barrel. But to still have people show up, to still have kids want to commit there, to have transfers want to come there, that means something.
No, you're absolutely
And all
right.
it takes is wins for people to not want to leave on the other end.
I know Kobe is a let's see, Kobe in the chat is an Arizona Wildcats person, right? And to quote Deion Sanders, I got time today. So we could talk about your football program real quick, right? So 2023, 10-3. Congratulations. If we had a sounder for a round of applause, I'd give it to you. But guess what? I just don't give that many shits. Okay. 5-7 in 2022. 1-11 in 2021. 0-5 in 2020. 4-8 2019. 2018 5-7. 2017 7-6. 2016 3-9. I count 2 winning seasons and I count 3 different head coaches. Get your act together. You're not a 10-win team. You're not a 10-win team this year. Okay. Your entire offensive line injured right now. Okay. T-Max in a walking boot last time I checked. So let's pump the brakes on how successful your guys' season is already going to be, because that's not going to fucking happen. You're not going to win the Big 12, okay? You can hold Kansas's beer in Utah when they get there, and you could pat yourself on the back and say, you know what? We had a damn good season. It's downhill from here because Noah Fafita and T-Mac are gone. That's what's going to happen, okay? These glasses, not just sunglasses. They're future-telling glasses.
Really?
Okay? This is what I was wearing the night that Coach Prime Sanders got hired by the Buffs. And I saw the delusion that was going to be coming. And I told you, the Louis luggage ain't that good. Ain't that good. Got that right. And I'm here to tell you, keep drinking the Kool-Aid on Brent Brennan. Senor 7-5 at San Jose State. That's what he was all about. 7-5. He was the king of 7-5. But hey, Arizona fans love to be average, right? So maybe you and Brent Brennan will get along great with the future of Arizona football. But hey, what do I know?
I have a trivia question for you guys.
Let's get
real
to
quick. Can you name the only former Pac-12 team that never played in a Rose Bowl?
Oh, geez. This is a hard one. It must be, it can't be Arizona because of how good their football program is.
They have such a rich tradition.
Yeah, it can't be them the way that they talk about their football program. Oh, probably Oregon State, right? Or no way Oregon State
Washington State?
Washington State, no way.
Wait,
no way.
it's UofA. Oops.
Oh, wait, that doesn't make any sense, though.
Arizona fans.
But
never played in a Rose Bowl.
But don't worry, because they're going to go to the college football playoffs this year. They're going to go undefeated, and everything's going to be great forever. So don't worry about it, guys. Everything's awesome. You don't need to worry about recruiting.
Kobe's in the chat talking about Kenny, bro. We're talking about you. This is what you wanted, right? You're the main character. Lean into it. We're talking about your program. Defend it. Come on. Stand on business with the 2008, what was it? Halo? You got a Halo? You got Master Chief in there, man? Come on, man. I expect better from you. Kobe. Come on.
Joseph says, I bet Totri doesn't say thank you when people hold the door open
That's
for
false,
him.
because I have done that, and he has thanked me.
Thank you.
Yeah, Totri's a good guy. Totri is a good guy. I think Joseph also said that you're the type of dude to leave trash in your friend's car.
It depends. Am I sober?
Fair enough.
Am I sober? I drive most of the times, not under the influence.
I'm about to say,
no, not under the influence, but I drive like most of the time when I'm like driving friends or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's
You're the
never,
driving guy?
Yeah, it's never usually the case.
Do you prefer to drive? Like, do you prefer, or is it just like you're thrust in that role?
It just happens to be.
It just kind of happens.
It just kind of happens.
Because it's like a double-edged sword, right? You're like, I can control, what's going on, where we're going, what time we're leaving.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like, man, I got to drive.
Yeah. You steer me where you're going right now. Okay. You drive the bus.
Can I drive the bus?
You can drive the bus.
Well, I'm going to park it.
Okay.
At Desert Financial Credit Union.
I mean, that's fair.
Because to be honest with you, nobody does it better than Desert Financial Credit Union. Because for 84 years, they've been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union dedicated to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community. Yes, that means you. And providing financial solutions that make lives simply better. I can guarantee this is an Erik Ruby big hat guarantee. Desert Financial Credit Union has made my life better. Guaranteed. No cap. Seriously. They have a team of financial experts who are committed to their members and their community.
Max Simpson under that hat.
Yeah, I'm like Ratatouille. He's pulling my hair and I'm just saying all the right things. No, but seriously, I've been using Desert Financial my whole life. So this isn't just me coming up here on a shtick and telling you something that I don't believe in, because I do. And one thing I wish that Desert Financial Credit Union had when I started with them was this free $200 that they're giving people. Because let me say that again. It's free $200. You know how many super chats you can send with $200?
One.
You can send one for $200, or you can send one. You can send 200 $1 super chats, and we would have to read all of them. If you go to Desert Financial Credit Union, get your $200 by opening up a free checking account. But they also have savings accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. Plus, on top of all of that, they have 3 Arizona State University Visa debit cards that you can choose from to flaunt your Sun Devil spirit whenever you be making a purchase. Go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started, to get $200, and to give us $200 worth of super chats.
I love it. I absolutely love that, and I love making money.
Yeah.
You know where you make money?
Tell me.
BetMGM Sportsbook app. You can make a ton of money over on the BetMGM Sportsbook app, guys. They're introducing the MLB Grand Slam jackpot. Okay? I'm going to say in a super newsy voice, so it sounds like super extra. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, introducing the MLB Grand Slam jackpot. A weekly bet and get promotion. Place a $10 or more wager on any player to hit a home run every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's the weekend. If the player hits a grand slam on that day, you guys can win the $50,000 daily prize or share of the prize with every other winning bettor. They've also got a great offer for anybody that hasn't signed up for the BetMGM Sportsbook app. Download the BetMGM Sportsbook app on iOS or Android, or visit BetMGM.com. Sign up and deposit at least $10 into your BetMGM Sportsbook account. Place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if the bet loses. And if the bet does lose, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. Sign up for BetMGM and use that bonus code PHNX. Place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app for at least $10, and you guys are going to receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if the bet loses. Check out the show notes for full details. And Allison and Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Bonus bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY, 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Now, was that news voice, or was that like a boxing ring introduction voice?
It felt
because
like more
you
of a
grabbed the mic like you're like,
it wasn't what I used to do for like TV voice. It wasn't
Anthony
that.
Totri, Cronkite News.
Yeah, there you go. Wow, that's just, let's take a moment of silence.
Introducing our MLB Grand Slam jackpot, a weekly bet and get. That's like the Anthony Totri Cronkite Sports.
There you go.
Signing off for you.
Piece of Yoshi's here just for your hat.
Just for the hat. Listen, the hat's kind of hard. Like, I can't lie.
The hat's hard, but that's a sick like profile picture, right? That's
it's true. A little Yoshi with like a knife in front of it.
Yeah, Piece of Yoshi is a D-backs regular.
Oh yeah,
there we go.
Welcome.
Okay, so Piece of Yoshi, were you the one that called me out for stealing the hat while I was on set of D-backs? I think Piece of Yoshi might have been, but yes. I am here. I'm rocking the hat. It's day 2 of 23. I'm starting to grow fond of the hat. I think I'm just gonna wear it all day now. Just all day.
Do that.
Just all day. I really wish, I could switch up the look with it, but if I put it backwards, it looks like I'm wearing a mushroom head.
It does look like you belong in Mario. Can I just for a second?
You want to wear it?
I just want to put it on my head.
Yeah,
I just want to see what it looks like.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Short bus. I hope this is allowed.
It's a big ass.
It is a big ass hat.
The sunglasses, that's a good look.
I might need to start rocking some sunglasses with it.
If I put my head like this, it's just.
I know you can't see.
All right, so let's talk about the news that nobody wants to talk about.
The news that Joseph is talking about.
Let's talk about Elijhah Badger and the report that EK is set to visit Arizona and Florida. I reported a couple weeks back that he did take a visit to Washington. That did happen. Now he is set to visit the Arizona Wildcats and Florida Gators. How you feel about that, man?
Okay.
How you feel about that? How you feel about that?
Listen.
Let's get into it.
Right now, I'm living in a world where it's simply not a possibility.
He's living in a world.
I'm in a world
where it's not a possibility.
Elijhah Badger cannot go to your rival school. One man must step up to bring him back.
I love it. I love it. Oh, he's coming home. Home.
Activate the valley. Listen.
Place where I belong.
I'm not denying the news. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying there's no chance he goes to Arizona. But right now, the mental space I'm operating in, no chance. And if it does happen.
The mental space that I'm operating in.
If it does happen, I will probably fall to my knees. Like I can't lie. It would sting. It would hurt. Because losing him already did hurt. Way more than Jaden Rashada. Losing Elijhah Badger hurt way more. But if what we were considering the best player on the team, we're going to do a little draft later. Elijhah Badger would have been the number one player in that draft for me that we're going to do later. It would suck. It would suck. I'm sorry. It would suck. But I can't put myself in the space where that is even going to happen. I just can't.
Look, this is what I'm going to say. I talked about my marriage with the Los Angeles Chargers yesterday, and I'm going to have to do it again because I'm used to pain when it comes to my sports teams. LaDainian Tomlinson was a San Diego Charger, and then he was a New York Jet. Phillip Rivers was a San Diego Charger, and then he was a Indianapolis Colt. Keenan Allen was a San Diego and Los Angeles Charger, and he is now a Chicago Bear. Sean Merriman was a San Diego Charger, and he was a Buffalo Bill. Legends, Eric Weddle, right? Like, sometimes this is what you get. You get players going to new teams, rival teams, whatever. Elijhah Badger hasn't played in the last 2 Territorial Cup games. He didn't play last season. Or I take that back. He didn't play in last year's Territorial Cup game because of an injury. In the year before, he got ejected at the very end of that Territorial Cup game because he hated the Arizona Wildcats that much. Right? Now, if Elijhah Badger opts to go to Tucson and be an Arizona Wildcat, then that's his prerogative. However, Elijhah Badger, when Jalen Conyers left, he went to Texas Tech. He gets to play the Arizona State Sun Devils, right? BJ Green, when he left, went to Colorado. He's Colorado Buffalo. Gets to play the Arizona State Sun Devils, in theory, in conference play, right? They're not scheduled to play this year. Mm-hmm. Jordan Clark, leaving Arizona State, goes to Notre Dame. When you opt to leave, there is one place you can't go. There's one place off limits. And if you choose to go to that one place, Tucson, to be an Arizona Wildcat, that's fine. But you will never, ever be remembered by Arizona State fans. Ever. They will take you off their favorite player list. They will burn your jerseys. They will do whatever, right? And again, you could be going to get a bag. That's totally fine. But going to Arizona means that you were never an Arizona State Sun Devil. That's what that means. And that's fine. If you want to live with that and you don't care, by all means, make that jump. And I'm not saying he's going to choose Arizona over Washington, over Florida, over anywhere else. I'm just saying, if that decision is made, one of the consequences is it's going to be like you never went here. Fair?
I mean, yeah, you lose all goodwill. Even if you're not a great player. Like, I'm sure with Kongaika, everybody in Tucson's done with him because he's here now.
Yeah.
That's just the way that it is. And it's more than fair to say, Elijhah Badger, you were great here. and then you stabbed us in the back, and now you're dead to us. And what a way to ruin all the goodwill that you've built with the community if he goes and he does that. And obviously that's not what he cares about if he goes and he does that. So I don't know how hard that would hit him, but not great. Not great. But you know what is great? This news you've been teasing.
Oh, you want to get to the news?
I
We
mean,
can get to the news.
Not necessarily saying, oh my God, the news is so great, but it's been great how you've been rolling it out.
I know. I've been teasing it for a while.
I just don't want to talk about Elijhah Badger.
I know you don't, but like,
I legitimately thought you were transitioning into an ad.
I did too.
So I was like, all right, here we go.
I'll be like, that's fast.
I
That's
can.
fast.
I
We're
mean,
done.
I can.
I want to keep talking about EK. I'm sorry. We'll
fine.
get to the AD news, and I know you
Fine.
don't want to, but it's something that warrants conversation. It's like sharing in the chat. Totri speaks truth. My heart hurts over this. I become Donald. If he goes to UofA, he is dead to me.
Yep.
It sucks. It sucks. But we do have Steven in the chat. I disagree. If he never went here, he'd still be welcome to Tempe. If he transfers, he won't be welcome ever again. Yeah. Isn't that what I said? He can go anywhere else other than Arizona, right?
I don't know if that's what Steven's saying.
I disagree. If he never went here, he'd still be welcome in Tempe. If he transfers, he won't be welcome ever again. Can you rephrase that, Steven? Because I don't understand.
If he never
what you're
went
saying.
here, like he never was here in the first place and he just transferred to Arizona, because then, yeah, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care as much. It would just be Arizona getting a good player.
Kobe in the chat saying Kangaika went here for playing time. That's not necessarily the truth. Kangaika, part of the reason that he left Arizona is because of part of the defensive coaching staff. He wasn't their biggest fan in the world.
Yeah.
And sharing the chat, and Badger has a lot more history here than Kangaika. At UofA, Badger has been here and stayed through a lot. No, absolutely. He's been here, stayed through a lot. But again, he can go get his bag. He can go have success. He just can't do it for the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, I like he said. You said it would be like he never went here. I think it would be all the goodwill that he brought would be gone. It would just be gone, and that is unfortunate. It would be like,
I also think he wants to be a number one option.
yeah, that's fair, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Why are we? What are we all? We're all just looking at everybody
Just
around here.
staring at Damon over here. We're talking about Elijhah Badger, and Damon has hovered around here.
It's like my bat signal.
Yeah, it is your bat signal. We're talking about EK potentially being an Arizona Wildcat. Yeah, it's gross. It makes me want to throw up
Yeah,
a
it's
little
not
bit.
great.
It's like, what's this like? This is like if you fed a small child, like let's say a 2-year-old. 2-year-olds have upset tummies, right? From time to time.
Yeah,
That's
I'd say.
valid. Alan, I feel like this is feeding a lactose intolerant toddler a big bowl of milk. Just a big bowl of milk.
Cook. Keep going. What do you mean by that?
Tummy's a rumbling. It's growling. You're like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Like, baby's just hungry, needs to be fed again. Maybe it's nap time. Nope. Baby shits his pants and throws up everywhere. That's what this would be like if Elijhah Badger went to Arizona. Okay? That's what it'd be like. You just, you know? You feel me? You picking up what I'm putting down here?
Buddy, I wish I didn't. I wish I had no clue what you were talking about, but the unfortunate thing is I kind of do.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't
I
make
tried to
sense, but
paint
it
a real
does.
good picture for you.
We've been painting a lot of pictures with number 2 in the last couple of weeks.
Well, I said throw up too.
Yeah, right.
Baby
right.
vomit.
That
Yeah.
makes
My
things so
bad.
much better.
My bad. Totally misread the situation. That's on me. Hand up. But Steven says any chance he comes back, 1%.
I would say not likely.
If he wanted to be here, he wouldn't have entered the portal.
Erica, why can't we have a cup? I'm confused about the bowl. Nope, just a bowl. You don't.
An
Did you
entire
ever
bowl.
have totally? We're gonna put a pin in that conversation.
Please, let's move on.
Did you ever have? I said a pin means we're gonna take it down.
Let's move on.
Have you guys ever had like the cereal bowls that had the little straw that was attached to the bowl?
Yeah.
That shit was That shit was fucking elite, dude.
He
Those
took the sunglasses
Those bowls were so elite. Whoever made those deserves a Nobel Peace Prize because that shit was a top 3 invention and it wasn't 1 or 2. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay.
So it was 3?
It was 3. So, yeah, we're having bowls of milk, just so everybody knows. We're kitty cats.
I'm not having a bowl of milk. I like my tummy.
Oh, my goodness. Erica gets it with the straw. You want to talk about the athletic director news?
I would actually love nothing
Isn't
more.
it crazy that people tell me things? Isn't it like crazy
I
that
don't
people
tell you
trust me
anything.
with information?
I don't trust you with any information. You don't even know my real name.
Erica Ruby.
You got me.
Yeah.
Damn.
Nailed it. Nailed it. So we've been teasing news for the last couple of days. Athletic director news. Somebody go find Dallas, because I don't know if Dallas is in the chat.
Dallas!
Dallas has been big the last couple of days. He wanted to hit that 50 likes to get here. And we'll just drop the news now, just for everybody that's come back for the last couple of days, just so everybody gets it. So from what I have been told, okay, Graham Rossini still appears very, very, very likely to be the next Arizona State athletic director as the department finalizes its restructuring. This is per somebody with knowledge of that situation. So again, Graham Rossini, despite the report last week that it was like kind of being halted or that there was a lot of pushback, sounds like Graham Rossini is still going to be the future Arizona State athletic director. How do you feel about that?
Just hire an athletic director at this point. I honestly, man, I am a little hesitant to hire internally. I understand the blowback, but I also think that sometimes you can make other people's problems like somebody's, and that might be what's happening with Graham, where it's like, just because he's in this place, in this athletic department, it's not exactly his fault that they are where they are. And he has an intimate understanding of their problems. And I would hope during the interview process, they say, hey, what would you do differently? What was wrong? And not just, hey, how would you continue the status quo? And obviously, none of us were in those meetings. But as long as he had actual answers on how he would change things and how he would switch it up and how he would make the program better, I'm fine with it. Just hire a damn athletic director, man.
Yeah.
Like it's May.
Yeah.
It's May. Multiple transfer portal seasons have come and gone for different sports. And we don't have an athletic director. And yet somehow football and basketball are still doing well. Imagine what we could do if we had somebody who was actually leading and making the right decisions. And is that Graham? I have no clue. But it's certainly not nobody. It has to be somebody. So just hire somebody. Okay, that's all I have to
That's
say.
where you're at. You don't care if it's an internal hire? You don't care?
I mean, I would prefer for it not to be, but at this point, it's like I haven't eaten in 30 days and somebody say, would you like a stale piece of bread or nothing? Give me the stale piece of bread. Just give me some food, please.
The bread gets stale?
Yeah.
That's what happens? I was just asking, dude.
How do I have the big hat on and that's the dumbest thing that's happened on this show?
It's stale, right? It could get rotten, no? Right? It could get rotten.
No, bread gets real stale.
It gets stale, so
Yeah.
just like really hard. I don't know, dude. I eat the bread, so I'm not used to it getting stale. I don't know about fucking Erik Ruby over here buying bread, letting it just sit out and get stale,
How
dude.
do you not know
That's
that bread
on you,
gets
because
stale?
I eat my groceries, Erik. I eat my fucking food that I buy and I pay for. I don't just let it go bad, okay? Like some people. Jeez, no wonder you're hungry for 30 fucking days. Eat your bread. Gosh. Get it together, man.
I really wonder for the people who just like click on this stream and I'm in here.
No, dude. He's making me mad.
Bro,
I'm going to get angry.
Bro asked,
Can I have a bowl of milk?
bro asked if bread gets stale.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
Bro said, does bread get stale?
I didn't say it like that.
No,
Don't look
that
at me
is
with that
exactly
face.
how you
No,
said it.
No,
Now I'm going to get angry.
No. I said, he said stale bread. I said, bread gets stale, right? Because it can get bad. It can go bad and get moldy, right? It can get gross. Right or wrong?
Yes, it can.
Okay. Don't start yelling at me. Don't start yelling at me. You eat your food. No. You eat the food you buy.
Sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes?
Sometimes I don't have time to get to it before it goes stale.
Yeah, well, you're inconsiderate, okay? Inconsiderate. Eat your groceries, damn it.
So I think the thing with Graham that I really like is
Gosh, you guys are so fired up, man. Fired up. Look, Graham Rossini, I think at some point has the potential to be a really good athletic director for Arizona State. It is a TBD kind of, decision, just simply because this is a guy that, he's had other roles in sports, obviously with Arizona State, with the Diamondbacks, but he's never been directly an athletic director for a college program, especially one off the heels of a lot of drama and stuff going on with football, basketball, baseball, swim and dive, softball, etc. Right? So there is going to be a standard and there is going to be pressure. For him, though, one thing that I will say that I think should excite ASU fans when that becomes, official is he's a younger guy.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what people really like about Kenny Dillingham's approach, because he's younger. I don't have a better word for this, but he's like more hip to everything kind of going on in college athletics. Graham Rossini has the potential to also do that, right?
Yeah.
To be a young voice in an athletic department that needs fuel, that needs passion. And I can't think of a better pairing internally than a guy like Graham Rossini with some of the credentials that he's had. And I talked specifically to somebody, asked him about how they feel in terms of raising money, how he would fare with all that. And the feedback and response I got was they feel very confident that Graham Rossini would be really, really talented when it comes to raising money, right? Like he's got a proven track record when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, not only is he in a position right now that does have an increased focus on NIL, corporate partnership, like, the money side of everything, fan experience. He was also the one who led the athletic department's effort to secure a 15-year naming rights deal with the football stadium, 10-year extension of naming rights with DFCU or DFA. The problem is not him. Right? Like even when the initial news came out, it was very clear that it was like, this is not because people don't like him or don't believe in him. It's more the optics of, look at where your athletic department is. Look how long you have taken to hire somebody, as in we are still waiting. And then at the end of the day, you hire somebody internally where it's like, okay, then what's going on here? Are you doing your due diligence? Is this negligence, right? Like, are you actually making the right hire? There's a very good chance that Graham Rossini is the right hire. And there's nothing that I can say against the man or say that he wouldn't do a good job.
Yeah.
Right? But there is something to be said about being in this athletic department and finding somebody from the outside to come in and correct its failures. Now, maybe somebody who comes in from the outside doesn't have the intimate understanding, doesn't have the connection, doesn't have the willpower, doesn't have like the bond with ASU and with being a Sun Devil that Graham might have. So maybe that's where Graham wins out. Maybe he is the absolute best choice. But then my question is, why wasn't he the best choice 3 months ago?
No, it's fair.
Right? And maybe that's not his fault. He can't hire himself, but I have no problems with him. I have a problem with how this entire thing has been handled.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're absolutely
That's
right.
it.
And again, I know Dallas is in here. I don't know if Dallas heard it, so I'll read it again. Graham Rossini still appears very likely to be the next ASU athletic director as the department finalizes its restructuring, per a source with knowledge of the information. Last little tidbit on the ASU athletic director search. I was given another name to monitor in terms of the AD position. Not necessarily a candidate, but certainly a name that was brought up specifically to me as somebody that a donor and donors would consider interesting. And that is Arthur Johnson over at Temple. I believe he went to Arizona State. He's got credentials, a guy who it's kind of his time to be thrust into that next role. So another name to watch potentially as we kind of move along through this process. But don't want to spend too much time on the athletic director stuff because we do have one final topic at the tail end that we are going to get to. But first, I want to tell everybody about our friends over at Circle K.
Ooh.
They're America's thirst shop. They're my thirst shop. They're Danielle's thirst shop. They're Eric's thirst shop. They're Erica's thirst shop. They're Kobe's thirst shop. They're everybody's thirst shop. And they got a new free membership program called Inner Circle, guys. It's going to help you save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. And then every day after that, save 3 cents per gallon every single day. They're going to help you guys save some serious coin over the year and get every 6th free in a selection of those Circle K products: pizza, coffee, ice cold fountain drinks, and more.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to stop there after work, to be honest with you. Grab myself a Gatorade Zero or something. Just have a good time. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing a really big hat.
Yeah, I did notice.
Right. And I love this
You look
hat
goofy
now.
as shit.
I do look goofy. But you know what would be I have no transition for that. You kind of threw me off there. But can you imagine you just sit back and you popped an OG's and all of a sudden I come waltzing in.
Dude, I would lose my shit.
With this hat
I would
on.
lose my shit. You got the Waluigi hat on right now, dude.
I was about to try to make a Waluigi sound. I'm not going to do that. That's not what you're going to be saying when you try our friends over at OG's. Same thing with some of the other partners that we've talked about. This is somebody and a company that I have been using since before I worked here.
Just a wee lad.
I'm not standing up here because I got Max Simpson in my hat pulling my hairs telling me what to say. I'm speaking from the heart. The absolute best scratch-made gummies that you can find right here in State 48.
It's true.
You hear it?
No, it's speaking.
You hear it in there?
Speaking.
It's going really fast.
Yeah, it says
That's
OGs.
how much I care.
It says OGs.
That's how much I care. And
Why does
I
your heart
personally
sound like that?
I don't know. My heart's just going.
No, his heart's
OGs,
voice is
OGs.
OGs.
We have very different interpretations of my heart.
That's not an interpretation, buddy. That's what your heart sounds like.
Fair enough. But anyways, I have trouble sleeping. It's kind of like a big thing that I've struggled with my whole life. And the OG sleep gummies
Scared of the dark.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm scared because I'm like, check for Anthony Totri under my bed.
Whoa.
He's scary. Yeah, you haunt my nightmares, bud. So I have to take my OG's night times to get a nice, fun sleep, feel full and well rested for the next day. Because I'd be staying up to like 4:35 in the morning unwillingly. And it was really bad. And so OG's helped me out personally there. But that's not just what OG's is for. If you just want to relax a little bit, maybe you could try one of their 2 new products made with live rosin and RSO. That's the OG's Naturals, which is the Chris Paul gummy, aka vegan, and the Big OG's, which is just OG's, but bigger. You can check out all of this plus more at ogsbrands.com. Figure out where to find OG's and more about them. But remember, you must be 21 and over to enjoy, and you must enjoy responsibly.
Eric and Chad, do you guys like the fruits or the creams better?
Oh, I like the cream.
The creams are fire.
The cream goes crazy.
The fruits are pretty good though if
They're
you're
all
already
good.
high.
Okay, can I OG's, they give out like unmedicated samples when they're out like at events with us and stuff. I am banging on the table for
That hurt,
just
didn't it?
OG's gummies.
Hurt a little bit?
Just no, not really.
No.
I'm built different.
You're so tough.
I'm built different.
Dawson chat, I'm so let down. I wanted Totri for AD. Look, man, they haven't called for my
That
application.
was the news.
They haven't called for my application. I'm willing and ready, and I'll tell you right now, whatever Graham Rossini is asking for salary-wise, cut it in half, and that's what you got to pay me.
Yeah, they have to pay me double.
They have to pay you double?
They have to pay me double, yeah.
That's crazy.
They have to pay me double.
No, just give me a phone call, man. Just give me a phone call. I can help y'all out. I know what I'm doing. All right, you wanna draft some things?
Let's do this.
All right. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna take a page out of the PHNX Cardinals book, and the other day they drafted the 5 best Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
We're gonna draft the 5 best Arizona State Sun Devil football players. We could share here, right?
I think we're gonna have to.
We're probably gonna cross over on some players, but let's go ahead. Let's get started. I'm up first in the graphic.
Okay.
So I mean, again, we're sharing. And again, they don't have to be like if I take a player.
I'm gonna take the same players. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna copy you.
Please don't copy me. Okay. The best player in my mind on the Arizona State roster. Oh, this is already tough. Because I feel give me Cam Skattebo.
Yeah,
give me Cam Skattebo.
So that's the thing.
First overall.
I am on the same page.
Yeah.
Cam Skattebo, number 1 overall. He could do everything. He is going to play in the NFL. He's going to play on Sundays. And he's going to be the heart and the soul and the brain and the lungs and the toes and the phalanges of this team.
Well, the phalanges are also just the toes and
I know.
fingers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. So we're both taking Scat as
Scat's
player numero uno.
Scat is numero uno.
Okay.
Yes.
Who are you taking for your second player?
This is tough.
Yeah, it's really open here.
To be honest with you, there's like 8 names that I'm considering. And I'm going to bet more on potential.
Ooh, okay.
I think.
Interesting.
I'm going to go with Jordan Tyson.
I like the pick.
I'm going to go with Jordan Tyson because great spring. Like really good spring, a good enough spring to make you stomach that Badger absence a little bit more. He's going to be
that Badger.
Stomach that Badger,
You
baby.
eating Badger,
We're
dog?
stomaching that Badger. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was like an attempt at a country accent.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. Jordan Tyson's my number 2 pick. We are moving on from that conversation now.
I am gonna go Xavier Alford. I'm gonna go Xavier Alford here.
That's a good pick.
Take it to the defensive side of the ball. A guy that I thought was going to be the best player on this Arizona State defense last year. Obviously didn't get to play because of the NCAA waiver. But Xavier Alford this season is playing with a chip on his shoulder. He's a big safety. I like what he does in coverage. I like that you can bring him down. He can step into the box and be a true dominant safety. I think he's going to be the best defender on this team this year. Oh, it's my pick coming back around.
Yeah,
now, right?
go for it.
Okay, third best player on this team. Let's do it. Go ahead. Give me Cole Martin.
Ooh,
Give me
yeah.
Cole Martin. Cole Martin, I think, is also going to be playing on Sundays in the future. He's going to be the starting nickel for Arizona State this season. Coming from Oregon, this kid has the potential to be a really special player on the field and then off the field. He's also just a really good dude. So Cole Martin, easily player number 3 for me.
So Martin's also going to be my player number 3. I'm not trying to copy you, but somehow, some way, you actually are right about something for once. And it's between him and Alford, and so I'm going to go Martin and then Alford next.
Okay.
So that's how I'm ranking. I would
fair.
take Martin above Alford, but I do believe it's Cole. Close.
Okay. That's fair.
Because
That's
it was
absolutely
my
fair.
pick again, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It was your pick. This is where I'm gonna have Jordan Tyson. I'm gonna have Jordan Tyson as my player number 4. I think he's a really talented wide receiver. Obviously, going to be a great weapon for Arizona State. And I think this is a kid that, again, he has got such a bright future. I'm really excited to see what he does this season.
Yeah.
He's gonna be special. Is it my pick for the
your
last one?
last pick.
This is tough. So we could go a
Again,
couple different
there's
ways.
so many different players that you could choose.
You could go, I think there's a couple different ways you could go here. You could go Prince Dorba,
Yep.
right? An edge guy. You could go CJ Fight.
Right.
You could go Cyrus Fiaseu. You could go Keyshawn Elliott. But I think I'm going to take Raleek Brown here.
You know that
I think that's where I'm going here. I think I'm going to have to
wasn't
take
think that.
Leak here. Just again, a special running back, does a lot of things really well. We saw in the spring game that he's not afraid to lower his shoulder. And I think he's going to be a serious problem for opposing defenses this season because he's such a dynamic weapon for Kenny Dillingham, Marcus Arroyo to use. And then you talk about Sam Levitt or whoever's going to be quarterback using him as an outlet. So I think Leak is going to be a special player.
I was definitely considering him, and he was probably who was going to take, but I'm gonna go off of what you said a little bit. I am going to go back on that defensive side. I'm going to go with Cyrus.
Okay.
I mean, the dude put
Poor
up absolute
Danielle,
numbers.
trying to spell
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I was really hoping one of you wouldn't pick him.
It's great.
I
It's
will.
great.
I will slack you the name. Real
Yeah, I'll
quick.
find it.
But yeah, Cyrus Fiaseu, coming off of being the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year, he was the Aztecs, San Diego State's MVP, 5.5 sacks, 5 passes defended, and 66 tackles in 2023. You could argue he could be the second player on this list, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that there's not a huge gap between 1 and 5. I don't think there's a huge gap between 1 and 10, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go with Cyrus sliding in at 5.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Just to recap, my top 5, Scat, Xavier Alford, Cole Martin, Jordan Tyson, Raleek Brown. Eric's top 5, Scat, Jordan Tyson, Cole Martin, Xavier Alford, and then Cyrus Fiaseu. Guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Also, head over to gophnx.com. Click the Die Hard tab. Go become a diehard. See everything that you are going to unlock. when you
Listen
become a
to
PHNX
our
diehard.
audio-only episode, because the reason I'm wearing this hat is because one of you will be winning a free Die Hard membership at the end of this month because of this hat wearing. Listen to our audio-only episode dropping on Saturday to figure out how you can get your name in the drawing for that.
And also, if you don't want to wait a whole month to be one of one, just join.
Just join.
Just
do
join.
it.
It's a blast. Okay. It's an absolute blast. The PHNX diehard Discord has been popping off lately. Things I love to see. And look, I know on social media you can't find the Kenny singing Rod Wave video anymore, but we can find it elsewhere. What do we got going on here, Max?
Don't worry about me.
Just a little Circle K snacky run.
That's crazy.
Hey guys, I finally figured out how to spell Zyrus, except it came in wrong. Hang on.
I'm about to say, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
I hate to
almost
break
had
it to you. That's not how you spell it.
It
almost had it.
auto-corrected.
We'll get there.
We'll get that. We'll get the graphic up there.
We'll
at
get
some
there.
point.
In the meantime, guys, give me a follow at PHNX you can follow the show at PHNX.
Yeah, there you go. You are the show.
You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Mr. IMBD.
I am Mr. IMDb, Mr. Big Hat Boy.
This is a rough day for dyslexics on the show.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Zookeeper.
I am
Zookeeper,
IMDb
Jose
having
Perez.
having to spell Zyrus Fiaseu. Here we go.
Let's
There
go.
it is.
We got it up. We got it up.
BSAU.
Follow Erik Ruby at Erik Ruby.
That's right.
Erik with a K. You can follow DJ Danielle at Africa Danielle across social media. In the meantime, go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.